get into triathlon?
Well, first of all, I got into fitness about 15 years ago. I started out as a personal trainer. After 7 years or so, I got a little bit bored with just weightlifting constantly. So I decided to train for a 5K. And that was my very first introduction to endurance sports. And it just took off from there. Triathlon has changed me as a human, definitely. It opened my eyes more to different geographic regions and people and cultures. And I think that's something that you can't put a price on, how it changes you as a person and how it really impacts you and molds you. I definitely feel like I'm mentally stronger. I've built my resilience quite a bit. Just to keep that focus, for 10, 12, or 14 hours on race day is quite a challenge. But the bigger challenge is actually the months leading up to it. You have to be consistent, 6 months, maybe a year leading up to your race. And that's really what builds that mental strength. If you weren't very athletic as a child, I think this is a great sport for you because you don't have to become proficient at any one discipline. And that's the truth. Most people will master each discipline, let's say at 70%, if I were to put a number on it. But there is no stress of becoming an expert. So that's an amazing benefit, I think, to someone who maybe didn't consider themselves an athlete growing up. I didn't pick up swimming until my adulthood. I was probably in the mid-20s. The first time I got in the pool and breaststroked my first lap of 25 yards and just kind of took it from there. Most of us know how to run and cycle. Maybe we're not good at it. We were never taught the technique, but we kind of know how to do it. So it's just a matter of building on what we know. Triathlon can be very fulfilling. As a child growing up, I was not athletic at all, and I always assumed it just wasn't me. And triathlon proved to me that I can also be athletic. Not only that you can become an athlete at any age. So I used to be under the impression that unless you're a swimmer growing up, maybe as a child through high school and college, you can't become a great swimmer as an adult. And that's just not true. If you put your mind to it, you could really not just accomplish in a triathlon, but you can really excel at it as well. There's definitely a special energy in the room when you're around triathletes. You feel this electricity. You kind of feel like you're surrounded by these caged animals that are just waiting to be unleashed and start racing right then and there.
How do you get your mojo back?
How do you get your mojo back when you don't feel sexy anymore? I don't know. I've never lost my sexy. If I could go anywhere in the world to do a triathlon, aside from Kona, it would probably be Ironman Austria and Klagenfurt. I've done many races here in the States, few internationally, like Ironman Cozumel. But I would really like to do a race in Europe, and for some reason, that course in Klagenfurt really stands out. So far, my favorite Ironman race that I've done, that's a tough one. Probably Cozumel, because I've done it 3 times, so that says something that I've wanted to do it again and again. It's definitely the most scenic course I've been on, and I just loved the bike portion. The 3 loops around the island were just stunning, and to be honest, the swim felt like you were snorkeling and just watching the sea life rather than racing. So it was a really amazing experience. Before triathlon, I pretty much lifted weights 6 days a week for 6 years, and I became pretty bored with it, as you could imagine. And I hated running. The idea of running a mile was just daunting, and I just hated every step of the way. In fact, the first 5K I've done really felt like a marathon. Today, I can't imagine living without endurance sports, whether it's swim, bike, run. Even if I'm not racing for a while, it's still a part of my life. I will go for an open water swim or bike ride or run, and just really it's become a part of that lifestyle. What triathlon has done for me, it definitely taught me a lot about discipline, juggling many things at the same time. Not just the 3 disciplines, but obviously work and life in addition to it. It allowed me to travel quite a bit and meet amazing people around the country and other countries as well, and introduced me to just I feel like it's the next level of a healthy lifestyle. I've been in the fitness industry prior, but I feel like this is the next level up.
What's like your first thing you're gonna eat after doing an Ironman? Seriously, truthfully.
Truthfully, the first thing I would eat after an Ironman is whatever is available at the finish line. So if I look at history, it's usually pizza. That's usually the first thing there available. I still like to give my body better nutrients as well. I know it's boring, but I still like to do juices and smoothies because I know I'm depleted. But maybe I'll do that a little bit later after I have my 7 slices.
So no pierogies?
No pierogies, no. Maybe the day after.